Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. So I was thinking about something I wanted to integrate in my channel because I have like this two mentalities surrounding posting and choosing the topics. I have one which is helping me gather followers and get as much exposure out there as possible, and the topics for these are more so on the scale of what are people saying about you and the mainstream ones, which I appreciate, and they have their own role, and they are very entertaining. I know from myself, and but still, my original intention for the channel was the spiritual aid or the guidance or the help for you navigating your difficult life situations, and I thought that having tarot reader focus on that would be something that would be both beneficial and soothing for people who maybe lack direction or need some confirmation on things. But somehow, unfortunately, over time I see that these videos get the least exposure and interest, and that's completely fine, because on one hand I do understand that I need people to find these, and the right ones will stumble upon these, but I cannot as well overlook the analytics and the popularity of these videos, and therefore I will try balancing out these two. So you can expect mainstream topics, then I will switch on more soul related topics, and I will switch like this from one video to another, and I'll try to find the middle ground for both, so that my viewers don't suffer like the consequences of focusing on only one polarity. So that was the little announcement for the channel, and today I will be addressing a reading I found in the analytics that works really well, and it's called "What is Your Reputation?" So this goes well hand in hand with what's the gossip on you, what are people talking about you. The reputation will be how well and how good you are being perceived, um, good or bad. It really depends, because I have to yet interpret the cards. But yeah, we shall see what falls in each category for you. For the reading, I have 4 piles as usual. They will be shown to you with their stones. First pile has smoky quartz, though it's so yellow, like that's weird, but the lighting. Second pile has picture jasper. Third pile has angelite, and the fourth pile has the tiger's eye. Okay, so take your time and pick your pile. You can choose multiple, you can pick messages that strongly resonate from other piles as well. But for this reading, I guess one or two can work out. You can change the rules if you feel like it, but see specifically for you how it works. I will be mentioning things that can be considered both good and bad. There will be not only like only positive things. So that means I will be addressing the reading in a very neutral way, providing the most insightful and appropriate like information for you to know and to be aware of, and maybe if necessary change something, or maybe work on something that needs to be worked out. Basically, that's my intention, and for that I have to be as transparent and authentic as possible. Yeah, let's dive into the first pile with the smoky quartz. Okay, pile number 1. Let's check out your cards. Okay, we have in here the Knight of Wands. This was the first card. I think this is going to be the most important card for this reading, and For clarification, I got many others that will show you the right picture. I wanted to say this pile will strongly resonate. I don't know, maybe you're not, but this can be the case for someone who is either very wise or an old soul. This can be related to that, or someone who has a lot of experience. And usually you see these things with elder people, people who are more so advanced in age, in the idea that they have seen a lot of stuff, you know. And this pile, it feels to me like people are pretty much very aware of the fact that you are knowledgeable, experienced, and wise. The Knight of Wands being reversed in this context surrounding the other cards tells me that you are someone who is not new to this world, as I said. You are not a person to jump into new things, meaning that more so in life you know, or you dabbled in the areas of your interest already, meaning that maybe you have lesser blind spots, or the idea of a rash decision or a rash action, or even a rushed one, like, is really absent. Like, this person who's watching is very cool-minded and very thoughtful and very deep. That's what I'm seeing in here. It's a very structural personality in here, because it's just a feeling, I guess, but yeah, many cards show actually that, you know. So let's begin by addressing these violet cards first. You have in here the open box, trust, moon, and influencer. I want to say this gives me very much authority vibes and mystery, and as I said, layers. You can be considered trustworthy, and the open box means either you know a lot of information, either you know a lot of stuff, topics. Your reputation is someone who's very knowledgeable and very open-minded, by the way, because of this open box thing. You can be as well very trustworthy because of this card, but the trust card, but also it's unwillingness to trust so easily. That's what I felt in this reading for some reason. You have as well the moon card, so that means for me there are lots of things that are being concealed about you in the good manner, meaning that, you know, you have this not sharing information in the wrong situations, or, you know, having lots of modalities in which you proceed to communicate and to show yourselves in the world. Overall, I think this pile is a very positive one, because it's not a message oriented towards negativity, simply because you have the Devil card in reverse and the Ten of Cups. And the Ten of Pentacles is in reverse. I'll return to that in a moment, but the Devil card is someone who it's flipped. So that means either you have seen enough in life to decide for yourself you are going to be sincere and want the best in people and their best interests. It's someone who, I will not say it's defenseless. It's not giving me that. It's more so very cunning and smart in the idea of preventing being outsmarted yourself, and that is with the perception of I have to know and to understand manipulation and shady stuff really, really well to detach myself, but to recognize it in people. The Ten of Cups speaks to me of the fact that, you know, deep down inside, you are not a bad person. You just realize that you have to be skilled enough. So this is all in regards to the people. I can feel like lots of people are seeing that, or somehow are keenly or intuitively aware of the information I'm conveying in here. That means maybe people are not necessarily outwardly communicating the fact that, you know, yeah, you are like detached from manipulation, though you are very well aware of it. No, it's more so an intuitive insight they got and they get when they interact with you, Same with the Ten of Pentacles in the reputation regards. That means to me like this is a card of, I know they are good, but I don't want to test their boundaries. It's a sense of danger or reluctance to play with you. The Two of Wands, especially with this Nine of Swords thing reversed, I want to say you can be resilient, you can be very flexible in life situations. And as I said, it feels to me like you've seen a lot of stuff, Four of Cups being reversed. Many can indeed in here be the people to traverse and navigate depression, sadness, or really be really flexible and resilient in situations where your mindset, your psychological side needed to be put to work, or somehow you managed it very well and came into this Two of Wands energy where you transitioned from it. It feels to me like with this Six of Wands being reversed, you have seen many failures. It could be yours or your people's, but that means as well you have extracted your lessons and learned from them, and people really respect that. This card came in as a realization that people see you as someone who's very advanced, wise, and have a very good impression of you. With this Two of Wands, especially with this Devil of so much information is coming to the table, but I would expect this pile to be the person to come in aid or to help the other person to clear things out. And boldness, Nine of Swords, direction, determination with the Seven of Cups. It's not young, so this is not young energy. It could be, if you are young and watching, that means you have very powerful foundations, or you have a very strong sense of what I want and what I've seen in life and extracted information from. Old soul information as well. Ten of Pentacles being reversed, spirituality in here, that's what came to mind. Being very wise, you have this representation of the dog and many children. I feel like you have lots of stories to tell, and as well lots of information to give overall to the people who need it, and lots of like, it's almost like counseling advice or information that would help you get out of a sticky situation, and information that would help you prevent some mistakes, simply because you were very attentive and learned from your own experience what to do and what to not do in here. And the Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Cups, I want to say there are lots of people manifesting respect and reverence, a sort of reverence or deep-seated respect for your personality, for who you are. And it's a quiet respect, or it's a sort of respect where you wouldn't want to bother the person, or you would be afraid to even sometimes maybe approach them, because the aura in here, it feels to me like it's very authoritative for the cards I saw, like very experienced. It's as though I'm talking in here with a person that is way more skilled than me, and as though the facades that I might be, for example, like I'm giving you an example, like I can't manipulate, for example, that person, because they would see right through it and I'd feel like a fool or something along the lines of this. So this first pile is huge about like respect and reverence and deep-seated appreciation for the way in which you are built. That's what I'm seeing. So that was all. That was your message, pile number one. I really hope it resonated with you. If it did, please like and comment below your pile. If you chose the pile number one, most interested to find out if you chose this pile, because it's a very interesting one and it exudes a lot of respect, authority, information, guidance, and yeah, respect. I guess I told that a million times already in the reading, but yeah. That was all pile number one. I really hope to see in the other future videos, and make sure to check out my old ones as well. Bye. Okay, pile number 2. You chose the picture Jasper stone, and you have in here the Page of Swords. Many cards. Page of Swords, Cup, Outrageous, Forgiving, Wig, Smooth, Bake Sale, Unicorn, and Mission. You have the page, so I will address this reading accordingly. You might be someone who is either eagerly discussed or with this outrageous cup combination. I feel like people know or can regard you as someone who's very much connected and in the know, let's say, with the information, the gossip, like a spy. It's giving me a spy because I saw this eye on the smooth card. Bake sale, you can be someone, your reputation could be someone who is easily avoiding situations that are like difficult, or you can, like, this gives me very smart. This gives me smart and cunning energy. But as well, there is a sense in here, like an energy of lack of trust. Either it is people lacking trust in you, or you being, or maybe it's more so about you, like you being really afraid to trust people. That's the energy I get. With the mission here, I feel like I'm dealing with someone who's very independent, very focused, and goal-oriented. With the unicorn, it's as if people would regard you as somehow, you know, that person who gets in trouble and ends up somehow outsmarting the circumstances, the people, and leaving the situation even better than when they entered it. With the wig, that came with a wig because it's a very flexible card for me, the wig one, and it's the ability to be very flexible and mold yourselves in situations where you are required to. I feel like, again, with this outrageous cup, you contain a lot of information, you know lots of stuff related to the, let's say, the news, the gossip, and you would be the person to ask what is really happening, like what is actually, like how would people come at like a tarot reading asking what's the gossip on you. That's the same energy I get, like people would come to you to ask what's the deal or what's actually happening. And this can be very like truthful or let me get to the bottom of it type of energy, or it gives me certainly like an energy of a detective in here. For some reason, a very all-encompassing energy. And okay, next we have in here the Three of Cups, the Page of Pentacles, Queen of Cups. Okay, so that Knight of Swords in reverse, I want to say, it feels to me like it could be the case that people would consider you to be very bold and bashful in arguments, or they wouldn't want to mess with you. I would say this pile resonates with really... you can gather a lot of information and interact with people, but you can only hold closely to your heart, like the people, only a few of these. That came up with the Knight of Pentacles card. And with the Emperor, it's like a feeling of I can stand for and I can protect my loved ones, even if at times I can struggle at that myself. But when it comes to my friends and loved ones, it's an energy like I'm ready to face the whole world, but only to protect them. You know, that's giving me that kind of energy. There is... it's very mysterious. Like the information I got, people might be judging you in a very light and, let's say, um, superficial manner. That's what's coming to the table. But deep down inside, it's a whole different story. Like people don't see or don't have the depth to perceive you fully because you haven't here the Queen of Cups, which is very reasonable and emotional and nurturing energy, as well as the Empress. Like it feels to me like you're someone who's like a double agent, or someone who's uh, for some reason playing on many like fronts. Like yeah, it's giving me a spy or a double agent for some reason, but with good reason, because you have in here the Empress and the Queen of Cups. Not a bad person at their heart, and most definitely just someone who's a little bit scared, or there is like vigilance in being a spy, or there is a sense of not frustration but unease in this pile, and people are definitely mentioning and seeing it. I see this pile as being someone who's seen or regarded as very resourceful, but for some reason it's like unapproachable at the same time. I don't know why, that's what I'm seeing. Page of Pentacles, it's like it's a case of someone who has been hurt, or maybe their trust has been betrayed. And as a result, this could speak of loneliness, fear of investing in future relationships as well, but still wanting them. And it's like a huge potential for relationships, but it's somehow being dimmed away because of a very steadfast intention to protect myself, to keep myself from the world. The Death card being flipped. So people see this reluctance. People might actually regard you as someone who's very like it's giving me a quality person, like a very quality quality over quantity for some reason. So that means you might have qualities that are more proeminent, or let's say qualities that are more worked on. For example, which example should I give in this case? So if we are talking about the idea of being devoted or loyal in a relationship, so you could be the case of someone who is very experienced and amped up at that domain, or someone, for example, with this Empress, if you are nurturing with someone, you can be more advanced, or even a higher level of nurturing, or giving two qualities at once. For example, expressing love in more than one way. For example, giving love as affectionate like words, and at the same time providing gifts or quality time, a combination of this. So it feels to me like this pile would struggle with the idea of letting people inside in their life, and because of that they have developed this deep sense of spying, impersonating someone, or being very cautious. Like it's giving me a lot of negative experience. And yeah, it's with this outrageous and forgiving and wig, it's almost as if you are still second guessing whether you should be accepting people, or it's giving me that, because I see in here the Three of Cups, and the Three of Cups in reverse, it's always like some problem in there with the friendships or with the connections. It's a lack of openness for some reason, and it's completely understandable, not judging it or something. It's just what I'm seeing, and reluctance to change, reluctance to things, or letting things happen. Or I would rather not make this or let it happen, or I would much rather prevent it, which is completely understandable, but it's as almost holding a tide or holding a river from flowing type of energy that's giving me. And most definitely people are realizing and seeing that, and there are people who would want to step into your life, but there is a wall issue here that needs to be worked through, or there is a sense of how can I learn to trust again. That's what I'm seeing for the cards, and your reputation is really, it's good to neutral because simply because people are judging you at the surface level and you don't let them go in. They don't have this access to you. It feels to me like more so you have the control, or you have more a degree of a greater like control over them than they have of you, and this generates this loneliness. And I feel like the reputation can be multiplied to much, much more, and you would be more appreciated if you would learn to work with trust, and if you would like place intention or be more conscious about working on that problem, if you're resonating with that idea, of course, and if you don't want to remain alone, because it feels to me like the case for this pile would be someone who is missing out, or maybe in general people are missing out on your character because there is a sense of hiding. So that was all pile number 2. I hope you enjoyed the reading. If you did and it resonated, please comment below your pile, your situation, of course, if you'd like, and I really hope to see you in the future videos. Take care. Bye. Okay, pile number 3. You chose the Angelite Stone, and this is going to be your reputation. Okay, so I got in here a very reasonable person. At least that's the description. Oh my god, that sounded so bad. The cards in here which are being shown are representative of someone who's very reasonable, polite, outgoing maybe, and there is a sense of, you know, goodwill that is coming up in the reading. Simply because you got in here this page of coins. This is openness for me, and King of Cups. So this means you are a very open and reasonable person. People would say that you handle really well interactions one-on-one with people, with their needs, whatever. You have in here some cards, the violet ones. You have Wizard, Guru, Cyclist or Cyclist, I don't know how you pronounce it, Ace. The missing, you got in here as well, Treacherous and Teacher. I wanted to say in here that, you know, Cyclist or whatever you pronounce this, this could mean that there are people in here who are watching that would classify as being fitness trainers, or someone who delves into sports, for example. This will resonate because, yeah, if you are like someone in sports, or if you are on the page of let's dive into physical activity, then most likely like this is your pile. Doesn't have to be, of course, but it was a detail which was worth mentioning. Because we got in here this reference of a teacher twice, being the guru and teacher and card, and the wizard, of course, for me that was as well. There is something about this pile having an attitude or affinity for teaching, mentorship, instructor, someone who definitely has with the ace affinity or an ability for that, to guide people. And with this page, I would say most likely we are in here like dealing with a young person, because pages are really young people, if not necessarily like in physical like age. This can mean being very spontaneous or young at their heart, for example. And yeah, I wanted to say in here that your reputation for your pile would be really great, like awesome, respectable. Your reputation is really something that is being either polished really well, or something that is shining through. Of course, in here with the treacherous, there must be people with negative things directed at you, but I feel like more so this is either it being untrue. Of course, you can check that. You can adjust and see how it resonates for you, what I'm saying. But the treacherous, it's like some people saying that you're not as sincere or you're not as well intended as you seem. This is in fraction of a smaller percentage, which is, I would say, something actually really great. But nonetheless, people would see you with this Knight of Wands as someone who's really outgoing, openness, like the Sun. The Sun card speaks of openness, being out there, like being an open book at times. And Six of Pentacles would suggest in this context that you are someone who's willing to be open and help others. Some people would consider you to be really generous, giving, and not afraid. Like, yeah, like generous. That's the definition of it. Like not being afraid or greedy or withholding resources. Yes, and with the Lover's card, this is like reasonable. That is the energy I see. I got in here as well talented. People consider you to be really talented, whatever it is that you're doing. We haven't here the Justice in reverse and the Chariot card, which are giving me a little bit of a worry as to how to interpret them in this case. But nonetheless, I would say in here with this Queen of Swords and the Justice card being reversed, there is an air of polite, at the same time not revealing everything, which is completely fine, I guess. Just mentioning the fact that in here it would suggest that people yet realize and understand your intention to be your best self out there. With the Queen of Swords reversed, I feel like this pile would most likely cover or hide their, let's say, true feelings, maybe, with people, and for some it is really apparent and people are noticing this. So there is a feeling of about your reputation, of you not showing everything, or you not exposing the depth of your character to the world, or a feeling of you wanting to present absolutely the best side of you. With this Chariot, like there is a sort of not inconsistency, but maybe inauthenticity in 2 degrees, like showing something and hiding something else, or seemingly with the Wizard and Guru wanting to seem something that you cannot right now maybe embody, but that you can work through in time. This speaks to me of someone who's really striving to be their best self, which is not bad. I don't say it's bad. It's just a feeling of with this Queen of Swords, there are unspoken things which are there and either are seen or talked about, and you basically maybe trying to hide them, but people are seeing this and realizing this. Nonetheless, I would say people in here would say you are really well inclined to work with people, to help them out, to reach out and be really like cooperative, friendly, and as I said, outgoing. These combinations of cards show me someone who's really out there for the fun of it, or someone who is not seeking a discord or is trying to bring positivity, you know. Seven of the Six of Pentacles would say in this case that you are someone who wants to have a huge friend list, or it may be speaking of the fact that you're friendly, like genuinely friendly, and people are considering you to be very pure and innocent and good-hearted, you know. Sometimes with this Nine of Cups thing, I saw it's maybe a feeling or maybe a inclination for people pleasing and not instating your own boundaries, which I would be careful of. And yeah, maybe it's a lack of boundaries. It's wanting to put other people first and wanting to not make things bad or not wanting to upset people at sometimes at your own detriment. And it's unjust for yourself. That's what I'm seeing, and it cannot continue on. Like if you have recognized yourself in this description, know that with this Nine of Cups, you cannot sustain this tactic of interaction with people for long, because it's going to corrode you and it's not authentic, and it will make you miserable in the long term, especially in here with this Queen of Swords at the bottom, right? It's near this card, like um, yeah, there is a degree of inauthenticity. It's good that you want to strive to create authentic, and you wanting to plant the seeds of friendliness, love, and goodwill. But it's also very noble and honorable for you and for people around you to recognize that it is all right to want to be yourself, to authentically show yourself as you are and how you feel right now, even if it means not necessarily being friendly, even if it means not being in the mood or just being a little bit irritated or in negative feelings. Like, I would say, don't try to impose something that you don't feel, and definitely address things that are or would be considered to be negative, and try being yourself more, and invite vulnerability and truthfulness to the table. If not with the world, and if that's not possible with the world right now, then at least with yourself, and being honest with yourself how you feel, and acknowledging that it's absolutely all right to feel this way and to interact with the world in such a way where you are currently at. So that was all pile number 3. I hope you enjoyed the reading. If it did resonate and you found yourself in the reading, I would be grateful if you were to comment below. And of course, like the video and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. That was all for you. Looking forward to seeing you in the future videos. Take care. Bye. Okay, pile number 4, Tiger's Eye. You have in here the Queen of Pentacles. Lots of interesting cards, by the way. Many of them centering around a very colorful, flamboyant, or let's say out there, like artists types of people or personalities. Very expressive, a reputation of someone either being in the center of attention, or someone who's very popular or intriguing, or either mysterious in a way, or giving a lot of hope or promises in the future. Because in here, like a very charismatic type of person you are, or your reputation is speaking things in that way about you. You have in here the bold and the musician, or the combination would be the bold musician, the wistful, the fortunate poem, team, the tame examination. Very deep personalities in here, the bold musician, and many other cards which say and represent art, because we have musician, poem. These two are giving me that energy, and wistful, fortunate, the bold, it's like a very aspects pertaining to the charisma of or character of someone. This is not a regular type of gray person you would see on the streets and say like, yeah, they're living a very normal and common life. No, nothing about this pile's reputation is quite common or normal, let's say. It could mean that people regard you as being artistic or having outbursts of energy, which would make you be categorized in that way. Maybe I'm dealing in here with people who are having a page or who are in the public eye, because I saw in here the team and it made me think about like the followers, and the tame, it's like taming people or taming or making people follow you because they like your traits, your personality, and you are enjoying the spotlight. That's what I saw with this Queen of Pentacles. It's as if this person represented in here with this Queen is not afraid to show themselves out there to the world, as well having the World card, which is in reverse, but I'll get to that in a moment. So yeah, we have in here very like out there people. Yet there is something, it's either the information I got outside of the reputation thing. Four of Pentacles, Three of Swords, the Moon being in reverse, Page of Pentacles reversed. Maybe this pile is actually secretly struggling, and it's like a discrepancy of sorts where there is one thing you show and it's really successful, and there is another you actually feel deep inside of you, and it's insecurity, pain, fear, and lots of confusion. That's what I'm seeing and sensing with this Four of Pentacles. It's as if like I don't want people to know, I don't want people to even doubt my character. And it's like this, it's not like you are making a false facade. No, it's actually both are part of your reality in this case, but more so it feels to me like the world is trying you, or it's as if the people who are watching are like either in karmic cycles or are currently dealing with stuff that are both giving them blessings in disguise, or even like blessings as I'm meaning it as a word, but is actually challenging as well. So this could be the case of someone, I don't know if you are going to resonate with that. I'm giving you an example. For example, you can be very charismatic or motivational and energetic, but at the same time struggle with temper issues. For example, not knowing how to direct this energy properly. Eight of Wands. Yeah, I have a distinct feeling like aside from the reputation, which I obviously am trying to read in here, I'm giving you, it's like a sense of dualistic nature. Eight of Pentacles in here, like this very strong representation of either fear of missing out, or it's a sense of not wanting the world to see your struggles or to recognize that you are like for some reason mortal. Like it's a sense of I want to show the world my best self, and these issues are so frustrating that I have to hide them away, like the moon showing yourself only from the best sides. Like this is very jarring and actually very complicated for me, and I don't understand how you're dealing with this, but it's as if you are living a little bit in a pretense or trying to make something happen which is not the reality of how you actually feel. Hmm. Nonetheless, people see you as like it's giving me main character energy, or if not that, then it's giving me, or along the lines of main character energy, it's giving me as well someone who's very good at transforming their pains into actual experiences of like as if I'm living a drama, or transforming the energy of sorrow, pain into art, or being at peace. It's hard to really say being at peace, especially with this Three of Swords, but it's like the exciting and the not so exciting life and parts of life of an artist or of a performer, because it feels to me like this pile would have to go in highs and lows for them to fully express the um, all the palette of their character and in different situations. Or if that's something you don't think, then maybe it's like the life that is throwing you these challenges and things. Honestly, it feels to me like weirdly enough to say that despite the Queen of Pentacles in here, we have as well the Four of Pentacles. This could relate or mean that you might be struggling financially, but in the long run or as a figure of influence, you are meant to experience abundance and not have issues in regards to that. Yeah, maybe like this is so mixed up, like I can't even. This is definitely like people would see you as being important or somehow different, but just as different as maybe complicated and struggling with something. With this Eight of Wands, like the reputation I got in here was of someone who's actually like feeling to me like they're popular, or they're frequently talked about, or they're very charismatic, or they're having lots of character um, qualities that would make them the center of attention. But somehow, like deep inside, it's a very distressed or stressed out person, individual who is really struggling to live in balance or struggling to live in peace because it's so jarring, it's so complicated, the things that I'm experiencing. Yeah, and it's like sometimes it feels to me like the price to pay for these negative experiences is way too high to even that they sometimes even outweigh the positive ones. Lots of mental confusion with this Ace of Swords being reversed. Yeah, but the reputation is sparking. I don't know if you are dealing with things in here, it's like it's actually like a little bit scary, and it's a little unhinged like energy to the point where you are like at the edge. Like this, no kidding, this is the reality of it, but the reputation is good. I can say that. The reputation is not showing the undercurrents of what you're currently going through. And yeah, maybe I'll do a video regarding the undercurrents, but for now, I would say it's a pretty fortunate example of someone handling well their, I don't know, it sounds bad, but handling their facades. It's like a two-edged sword, this pile, and their life experience. With this justice card, like it's just as good as it is bad. That's weird. Okay, so that was all. Pile number 4, Tiger's Eye. I hope you enjoyed the reading and it resonated for you. If it did resonate, please like and consider leaving a comment saying that you chose this pile. That would be really interesting to read. Subscribe, of course, if you haven't already. And I really hope to see you in the future videos. Take care. Bye.